She wanted to make sure that he would be so
Most people are born and raised by two parents. Others, like myself, most people are born and raised by two parents. Others, like myself, are fortunate to be gifted a bonus parent. Jerry Gdalya Saba, or as I affectionately called him, Mr. Pinsky, was my bonus parent. It is difficult to describe in just 5 minutes a person who had such a powerful impact on one's life, but holding to my mother's rule of if it can't be said in 5 minutes, it can't be said, I will stick to that time limit. Jerry and I had a very special relationship built over a time period of 20 years. He walked me down the aisle. He gave me and Avram and our children brachot every year on Erev Yom Kippur. He was a fantastic Saba to all of our children. He was in the hospital within hours of the births of our girls. He was at Emmy's Misibat Siddur, at Eitan's Bar Mitzvah, and he gave Nani tips on playing the guitar. His most defining role, though, was that of being a most loyal, caring, and loving partner and husband to my mother. It is b'schut Jerry and what he and my mother created together that I have the Lefkoviches as family in America and the Pinsky, Zilcha, Cohen families who have become my aunts, my uncles, and cousins here since the day I made Aliyah 20 years ago. Most people knew Jerry as a quiet, understated, tsanua, and well-respected individual who was a tremendous Baal tzedakah. He was all of those things to the world, yet became so much more to us due to the unique relationships he had with my mother, my brothers, my children, and me. Though Jerry enjoyed the finer things in life, he appreciated, loved, and had the most fun from the simple things. On one of my parents' trips to Israel, I brought Jerry to the shuk, something that no one had ever done. His favorite part about it, that between Pereg and Melech HaChalva, he was able to get a totally free meal. It's the simple things, like his quiet time, giving his grandchildren balloons, or entertaining them with his toys in both home offices, the one, as Sophie says, in the Black House in Woodmere, and the one in the White House in Yerushalayim. My children so adored and loved their Saba. If there was ever a time we FaceTimed with my mother, the first question was always, "Where's Saba?" My children watched him. They learned from him, even at such a young age. When Sophie puts a napkin on her lap, she pats it and says, "Just like Saba." Emmy also requests her quiet time, just like Saba. Nani has her guitar mounted on the wall in her room with a special guitar holder that Jerry got her, because like Jerry, how else would one store their guitar? Jerry and my mother always gave advice, solicited or unsolicited. They prided themselves on their advice so much that they printed up business cards for free consultations. And according to Jerry, you never leave home without a business card. My mother and Jerry did everything together. My mother was the happiest when she was with him, and he was his best self when he was with her. He taught her how to be calmer. She taught him how to laugh and laugh at himself. They were together so often that when they told me they had aisle seats across from each other on the flight home from Florida just about 10 days ago, I genuinely asked how they survived the trip being that far apart. Mr. Pinsky, it is no coincidence that HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose to take you so close to Yom HaAtzmaut. You embodied Libi B'Mizrach v'Anochi B'Sof Ma'arav. You were proud of having a home here in Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh. You loved your home here because it was here. I remember years ago when I had first made Aliyah, before the days of coming to watch Yom HaAtzmaut celebrations in Chashmonaim, we decided to daven at Merkaz Harav. You forgot to bring your copy of Goel Yisrael, a book that has tefillot for Yom HaAtzmaut, a book printed because of your generosity. When we got to Merkaz, a majority of the people there had a copy. You did not ask. Instead of asking, you did not. Instead of asking for a free copy, in your most humble, true to who you were manner, you purchased a simple photocopied pamphlet. It was comical. You felt it served the purpose just fine. You didn't want to ask for anything from anyone. You never felt anyone owed you anything. Gdalya was with my family for many of the best of times, as well as for our biggest nisyonot. Much like himself, the statements he made, the answers he gave to questions were quiet and powerful. When an Nisayon seemed to have passed, he would say, "Today is the first day of the rest of your life." A piece of advice that I've paid forward many times over. Whenever the question of why was asked, his answer was steady and consistent. He never wavered. Without a hint of doubt, Jerry would always say, "Because this is what Hashem wanted." Although I had the true zchut to thank you over the years, and privately, and as recently as Sunday, for all you have done for our family, for being the best thing that ever happened to us, I want to say it again publicly. I also want to ask you, Mechila, again, if there is anything I have said or done that was pogea your kavod. I promise I will take care of my mom and Barbara. And when we are left asking the question why you couldn't be here just a little bit longer, I will quote you and say, "Because this is what Hashem wanted." We love you, Mr. Pinsky.